Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday from Arni's. Happy birthday to you. Woo!
Alan Karpick with the Arni's Birthday Zoom. Katie Gearlds joins us. I say to everybody when they're media people, I said, or around media, this is the highlight of your media career, but it's a special day for Katie because it's her birthday, and happy birthday to you. And it always is a day that I don't care. Hopefully for everyone, it's a day that gets an extra skip in your step. Is that the same way it is for you?
Yeah. First of all, thank you. I mean, who doesn't like waking up to all the messages and then all the phone calls throughout the day? Just kind of reminded of everyone I've met in my life and all the memories that I've been able to make throughout the basketball world.
Yeah, it's funny that I think for all of us on our birthdays, as we all, I think, if you're doing it right, you're probably thankful that you have another one to celebrate. That's a good thing. But also, it is a day of reflection, and you talk about the calls that you get and the messages and all that. But without giving up any trade secrets, I mean, when you look at yourself, how do you reflect on your birthday? What do you do? What checklist do you go through? Or is it just another day to be happy and to be happy doing what you're doing?
Yeah, honestly, probably the latter there. Just especially my birthday is always this time of the year, right? Yeah. Right before things get really, really busy. But, I went out and I was walking Mackie, getting my workout in, and just honestly, my reflection was like, wow, like how cool is this? I get to walk Mackie's stairs on my birthday, and we're going to go to practice here in about an hour and a half, and I get to coach on Mackie Arena. So that was really just my reflection just now. I was getting my workout in, but yeah, just another day and getting ready for the grind.
All right. So that October 26th birthday, like you said, you've had a life in basketball, life in athletics. And you're always a week or two before the start of the season. You guys open up an exhibition season on the 6th of November. How are things going with practice? I know you've got you're in your second year and you've learned a lot in your first year and had a good deal of success. But how do you assess where your team is right now?
Yeah, I'm. We talk about it all the time. Progress, not perfection. Let's just get better every single day. Just making sure we're taking steps. I think for all of us around here, just feels a little bit more normal. Yeah. I'm not just a month onto the job and teaching everything. We all know each other a little bit better on and off the court. They know what gets under my skin, and I know what gets under their skin. So I like the direction of our program right now. I like how hard our young women are working. It's we exhibition game in 10 days, and 2 weeks from tomorrow we start the real thing. So quicker than we all thought, but it's here, and I got a good feeling we're going to be ready.
Yeah, when you look at where you were a year ago today, and it was still your birthday a year ago today, but you were in the midst of a lot of a transition. What did you learn? I mean, we all reflect again and learn stuff from our experience. You came here expecting to do one thing, it changed, and you were put into a duty maybe just faster than you expected. How do you look back at that and say, boy, I know I learned this from that experience? What might that have been?
Yeah, honestly, I think one of the things I learned the most about me was how to be a better leader. Yeah. I thought I've throughout my whole life, I've always been in a position to be a leader, but never really thrown into it in such a short amount of time. Not only leading a basketball team, leading a staff, leading a program of, something that I just cherish so much, but a lot of self-reflection in the off season, a lot of looking in the mirror and challenging myself to become a better leader for our young women, for our staff up here. And, a lot of talking to my mom and dad about how do I look in the mirror? How do I do some soul searching and just get better in that regards? I think last year there were times when I was kind of walking on pins and needles, walking on eggshells just because of everything that did transpire here. And I think I feel a little bit more comfortable in my position as head coach here and my role. And I know what I'm supposed to do, and I think I know what it takes, and it's just a matter of going out there and getting it done.
Yeah, when you look at your experience, you're not that far removed from being a player. I know birthdays.
Thank you.
Sometimes birthdays make you feel like you're old. You're not old. You're young, and but you have that. It's such a. It seems to me in a player's world, you have to really be in tune with what they're all about. Maybe more than when you were playing. I don't know if that's a fair assessment. It seems that way. Is that how you look at it? In terms of really knowing your kids and everybody that's involved in this program and what makes them tick. Has that been one of the biggest parts of your job as you've integrated into this opportunity?
Yeah, I think so. And I think honestly, that's about the only difference between where I came from and where I am now. Just the NIL world that we live in right now, the transfer portal that we live in. Those are things that aren't going away. So really dive into those and learn more about those. But I think you're right. I mean, it's a player's world in college athletics, and you got to walk that fine line of being the coach, the way we all want to be the coach, but also making sure we not necessarily cater to them, but to making sure that they're feeling good about where they are and what goals they're chasing, whether on or off the court.
Yeah, and you're going to have some level. You've got experience coming back. You had some success. Obviously, your kids got used to that expectation of winning. You didn't win everyone, and that's the nature of the sport. But you got a good nucleus coming back with Madison and with Abby and with Janae. Talk about them, but then also talk about that transfer portal. You got a couple of really good additions there that are going to make a difference in your program. It appears right away.
Yeah, super excited about Laisha and Caitlin joining our team. Caitlin was WAC Player of the Year out in Cal Baptist, and me, I'm a firm believer. You can go get a bucket, and that's something Caitlin can do. Same with Laisha. She was a superstar at Bradley and had a pretty good season last year at Rutgers, and was their second leading scorer on a team that didn't score the ball a whole lot. And you translate to how we want to play. I think, Laisha and Caitlin are going to have a lot of opportunities to score the basketball for us. They just bring a maturity to our team. He's talking about fifth-year young women in college that are older and kind of get the grind. Really taught our young people how to be college athletes. And then our group coming back, Madison, Janae, and Abby were all conference honorable mention. And, we talk about that. We don't want those honorable mention, accolades. We want to make sure we're doing our best to get them on the first or second team. But, those three are, they just taken steps, growth as leaders, growth as basketball players. Excited for what Jayla can bring to us. Ricky has had a really good offseason. Ava's back. And then Cass taking her fifth year to just kind of defer med school. I think that just speaks volumes about her character and what this program means to her. You said it. The expectation is to win. Last year the expectation was to play hard and be tough to beat, and we did that. But now the expectation has changed, and the expectation is to win.
Yeah, they don't get much better than Cassidy Harden in terms of the proverbial scholar athlete and a student athlete. What an unbelievable person. She was gracious to join us with an NIL event with the Center for Cancer Research, and did it in a moment's notice, and that spoke volumes for her. All right, now down to two questions here. One about you're obviously an all-around player and a very good one at an All-American level and a professional level. What has been the biggest challenge for you in terms of you were a scorer, you did other things too, but I mean you have that mentality. Tougher to when you assimilate and teach kids in terms of what you were as a player and what you want your players to be. How is that? Is that been a transition, or has that just been part of your coaching abilities and coaching learning curve as you developed into this role at Purdue?
Yeah, honestly, I think my first year as a coach, I just assumed that everybody thought the game the way I did.
Yeah.
And after that first year, my assistant at the time, my staff, they just said, Katie, you got to break it down for everybody. Yeah. Nobody is seeing the game you do. And so one thing we do try to do is we try to pay attention to the details that maybe some people don't see, and the ones that are probably mundane and boring. But, I once heard Peyton Manning talk about how he him and Jeff Saturday took hikes for 20 minutes before every practice. I mean, if that's got to be one of the most boring things in the world. Peyton Manning knows how to take a hike from his center, but to do that every day and just be that detail oriented is the same way that I've tried to, kind of translate into be a coach. You just got to break it down. A lot of young women want to know why you want to do something, right? I think you tell guys to go out there and play basketball and just do it, and they do it. But a lot of women, hey, tell me why. And then once you explain the why and it comes across, then they're pretty much going to do it for you.
Yeah, that person that has a statue not too far from your office, John Wooden, used to talk about how putting the socks on correctly and making sure you don't get blisters. All things first from that standpoint. All right, last question. Birthdays in the Gearlds household growing up or now, do you have a special meal? Did your family, again, you're probably in the middle you were in the middle of practices for most of your life, but is there a special birthday tradition that you like to celebrate?
For me, it was normally just eggs and bacon and toast before breakfast or before school, for breakfast before school. And then my favorite meal that my mom makes me is a meatloaf with some au gratin potatoes. And she's only an hour away, so oftentimes when she makes a meatloaf, she makes one or two more, and somehow I end up getting one up here. But right now it's wings for lunch with the staff, and I'm going to make tacos. So I'm a wings and Mexican kind of girl right now, and that's going to be my night after practice.
All right, great. Well, hey, Katie, thanks so much, for your time, because this is the middle of the season, and we'll celebrate with you. It's a special day, and you have certainly made a great impact already in your first year, and we look forward to watching the 2022-23 Boilermakers go at it. It will be interesting, day in and day out. Have a great rest of your birthday.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Alan.
All right, thank you.